Well, it's game week. It's time to go. So moved past fall camp, which I think we've had a good fall camp and we've grinded them pretty good. But it's time to get on to opponent. Kids are tired of practicing against each other, which is typical at every fall camp in the country. Ready to play an opponent, whether we're ready or not. I guess that remains to be seen. But you kind of just got to go out and measure yourself and see what you're capable of doing. But I'm excited about the game. I think it's a great game for us. It's a big challenge. We know that going in, but it's a challenge that we're excited about. We're putting together a game plan to go up there and get a win on the road against a good opponent. And I think the kids have kind of wrapped their minds around that is possible. It is doable if we do the right things. We prepare the right way and we go in and play our best ball. And that's what we're going to try to do this week. So today's the day off for them. They needed it physically, trying to get some guys just, healthier, fresh legs, all the above, trying to get into this first week. And then we'll get back at work tomorrow and work our way into situational ball and final details of game plan as we get closer and closer to Saturday.
Hey, Coach, Jacob Nielsen, Utah Statesman. It feels like, you've been in Logan for 8 months, and it feels like we've covered you a lot, and a lot has happened, yet there hasn't even been a single game yet. So how does it feel? You've been here forever. How does it feel to finally for game week?
Well, I don't know about you, but that's the fastest 8 months I've ever seen. It's a blur when you consider when we got here to what we're up against this week. It's been fun. I've enjoyed every minute. It's time to play now. You put all that other stuff kind of beside and really just focus on the task at hand. Past the point of getting to know the kids, feel like they're our kids, feel like it's our locker room. They've bought into what we are teaching and have really tried to give us everything we've asked. Got great relationships being built across the board. Now it's just about going out and finding out what kind of team do we really have? What do we look like against an opponent? Can we be consistent on a weekly basis? So that's where the energy's focused, and that's where the excitement comes from, the opportunity to go out and play.
Coach Al Lewis from KBNU. Obviously, the question, I see they're both listed as oars, either Bonner or the other quarterback, Peasley. So what do you plan on doing at quarterback, or can you say?
Well, I can say. I'm not going to say. How about that? We're still in a quarterback competition. We're trying to be as fair and transparent and deliberate as we can be. We've had great conversations with both young men. They've both done phenomenal jobs trying not to hold the injury against Logan. He didn't mean to break a bone in his foot. He didn't want to miss the reps that he did. We're just trying to give him every opportunity to really, number one, be healthy, which he is, but also catch up on the reps that he missed. At the same time, we're trying to be just as fair with Peasley, who had a phenomenal spring, maybe as good a summer as we've had as a player, not just quarterback, just player that I've been around, and just how he worked and the time he spent and just the improvements that he made. So, I think we're really in a really good space. And the fact that we got two guys that can both lead our team effectively, we just want to make sure we make the right choice as to who that's going to be in the long term. And so there's a chance that we name a guy before Saturday. There's a very real chance that both play. We let live football kind of dictate where we head from there. I feel like this is bigger than one game. Honestly, it's bigger than one game or one person. So we want to make sure we got the right guy leading the program for the future, for the rest of the season. And so not going to rush it. And that could be a game time decision, or it could be a result of how these guys handle live action on game day. So we'll just have to play it one day at a time.
Is there ever a chance that you could have a system where you could play both guys in the games in different ways?
I think I've obviously been through that. Played two guys last year, kind of due to COVID. Bonner was part of that, and he still played at a really high level. Had to play two quarterbacks pretty consistently. One of the 2 years I was at Carolina due to injury of one of the two quarterbacks. It is not something I'd like to do for an extended period of time, but it is something that we've had limited success with in spurts. I do believe we're looking for a starter. We want a guy that everybody can rally around, that can lead. Now, does that mean we wouldn't still use some packages for whoever ends up being the number two? That is always on the table, and there may be some things that whoever that is can bring to the table that helps us be better. So I do think we're going to end up with one quarterback at some point in the very near future. Just not exactly sure that I want to rush that. I want to make sure it's the right guy.
Coach, as part of that strategic, because I know Washington State, they haven't announced their quarterback yet either. Is there kind of a cat and mouse game there a little bit?
No, this is about us. To be honest with you, you're going to think I'm crazy. I have not spent a whole lot of time worrying about Washington State. I'm worried about us at this point. I want to make sure we have our best team ready to go, try to fix our issues in every first game of the season. Every bit of the opponent work you put in is guesswork. Anything can change over the offseason. They can play anybody they want to. They can change scheme. They can change anything. So we really just need to focus on us and what we need for a bigger picture of the future. It's a long season, and we want to make sure that we've been very, very thoughtful about who we're going to let lead the program, and no bigger decision than who the quarterback's going to be.
Coach Jason Turner from the Herald Journal. Washington State's always been able to throw the ball, but they also have a proven tailback in Max Borghi. How challenging is it to game plan for that type of offense when they do have a viable rushing attack?
Yeah, he can play. There's no doubt. Physical runner. I know he missed some time, but we just expect him to come in at his very, very best. I think even more importantly than him is just how experienced and how big they are up front on the O-line. I know there's one young man that's going to be playing that has had limited snaps, but the rest of those guys have been playing for quite a while, a lot of snaps, big, long, physical. So that makes our job up front really, really difficult. Clearly, he's talented, and you're going to have to do a great job tackling him in one-on-one space because he's so physical. But I do think it starts up front for them on both sides, and the experience level that they have is something that we just don't have right now. We got a lot of guys playing some of their first ball, and we're going to have to grow up very, very quickly.
From when we talked to you on media days to now, like you went through all the fall camp, what is one thing you think the team as a whole kind of developed the best, and what's something that you wish maybe they would have been more prepared for than they are right now?
I would tell you the thing that they've done the best is just consistent attitude, consistent work ethic. We really have not had to ask for it. It's been assumed and it's been given on a daily basis that that we're going to have to outwork people. We know our talent level is something that we have to improve upon. Our athletic ability, our strength, all those things are developmental. But the one thing that we have a choice to do right every day is how we work. And so in that sense, this group has a very consistent day-to-day work ethic and a level of work that I think allows us to improve daily. I think there's a ton of different things that you can, and you never stop improving. There's not one big key feature that I feel like we've done a poor job of. I just think we need every rep we can get, and we're going to learn a lot of things the hard way by going out and making some mistakes, which come with inexperience. And we're going to have a handful of guys, several guys at different positions that just haven't played much, and we're going to have to be willing to be patient as those guys fight through and make some mistakes. Hopefully, they make them full speed and they don't make them over and over again. They learn from them and move on and improve.
Coach Ajay Salveson, how hard is it to prep for an opponent especially in the first week of the season when you have no film on them at all?
Yeah, that's always a challenge, and I found it hard to prepare for an opponent even when you do have film because you just don't know what changes and adjustments they've made in the offseason. What new additions do they have? What tweaks have they made? You really have to focus on what you can control, and that's you. We got to be in the best shape we can possibly be in. We've got to know our systems inside and out, and then we're going to have to make some adjustments on the run. We've looked at what we can based off of where the coaches come from and the systems that they've run, even if it's coming from a different university. In a couple of these cases, we're really even looking at film that has nothing to do with Washington State, looking at the other programs that they coach and try to get the best guess, but that's really what it is. Every game one for any opponent is a guess. We just got to control us and play the best, highest energy, best effort, cleanest, mistake-free football that we can play. And if we do that, then it gives us a great opportunity to win.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Al Lewis again. Coach Rolovich has been around some systems. I mean, he was kind of in the pistol before. He's been run and shoot, different things like that. So is it kind of a spread, one back type offense is what you expect from them?
Yeah, I think would you see us working against, you're seeing the pistol, you're seeing spread, the base kind of formations and concepts that they've typically kind of hung their hat on. But then we also work against a spread team every day. So I think there's some residual benefit from playing against a up-tempo spread team, hoping that on Saturday the game slows down a little bit, that maybe they don't operate quite at the pace we do, hoping that there's split-wise and alignment-wise and just some of the concepts that tend to carry over from most spread teams. Hopefully all those reps that we've had both spring and fall are going to play into our favor. There's still going to be some subtle things that are unique, and those are the things you just have to rally behind, and hopefully you play sound ball and you're able to maybe make a couple of sideline adjustments, halftime adjustments, so they don't create huge issues for you. You can hopefully make those in-game adjustments and attack the specifics of what they do offensively.
And what do you expect defensively, or what style do you think they'll play?
Well, I don't think they're afraid to get up in your face. They've got 2 6'2" corners. Would not surprise me if they're up in our face playing press coverage. There's a junior or senior or redshirt junior and senior at all 11 positions with one of the best linebackers that we're going to likely see all year long in Woods. So it would not surprise me if they are up in our face, really just very competitive, very aggressive style of defense. And we're going to have to be able to win in one-on-one situations to have a good day offensively.
Coach Anderson, what do you see in Woods? I mean, he made all sorts of plays for them last year. What makes him such a dynamic player?
He's just one of those guys, very similar to Justin Rice, that just has a nose for the ball. He seems to end up in the right place. He plays with a super high motor. He's got so many snaps under his belt. He's kind of seen it all and done it all, if that makes sense. And it's hard to get experience quickly. He's been playing for 4 straight years. I mean, the guy's – he's a coach on the field. He just finds the ball regardless of how you try to attack him. And so we're going to do a great job of knowing where he's at. We got to do a great job of getting bodies on him, making his job hard, hopefully getting up to that second level and getting him distracted and getting bodies on him where he's not running free. If he runs free, the guy makes a tackle every play.
Coach, is Byron Bonds, is he healthy? Is he going to be ready to go on Saturday?
He is. Well, he's going to be a game time decision. He is still day-to-day improving greatly. It's going to be one of those risk-reward kind of conversations. He'll tell you right now, if you ask him, he's ready to go. We're going to have to weigh the risk of injury that might keep him out for a long period of time. He is very, very close. I can see him playing on Saturday, but I also see us holding him if we feel he is just not quite there. So it's going to be it'll be an argument nonetheless, because I know where his heart is and that he wants to play and he makes us better. But we're going to be very strategic about the season when we make that decision, and it may come during pregame on Saturday.
Coach, I also wanted to ask you about their 2 main receivers. Those 2 guys caught a combined 62 passes in just 4 games last season. What can you tell me about those guys and why they're effective?
Well, Harris is the one that stands out right now. Now, I know if I'm not mistaken, one of their other key wideouts is out with an ACL, so I'm not exactly sure how they're filling in the gaps there. But Harris has really stood out. Now, not a ton of catches, but has that ability, very similar to DT for us. Electric in space. And I would expect them to try to get him the ball in a lot of different ways. The ability to move him around, get him in the slot, matched up in a place where maybe he's the quicker of the 2. We're going to have to do a great job of tackling in space. And I think that's the thing about spread offenses. It puts you in one-on-ones in grass where if you don't tackle well, you get exposed. Hopefully we can do a great job of just rallying a lot of hats to the ball and eliminate the big play.
Hey, what's up, DT? Jacob Nielsen, Statesman. Hey, you have experience opening the season against Power 5 teams. You did it when y'all went to Wake Forest, to Michigan State. So how are you as a leader? What are you telling your guys is like, hey, let's get out there and get after it against a Pac-12 opponent?
At the end of the day, it's just, it's football, then we all put our pads on the same way, come to play, So that's really the biggest thing I really just tell them is just play it like it's practice, act like it's practice.
Deven, coach just told us, this is Al Lewis from KBNU. The coach just told us that they really haven't made a quarterback decision. What are your thoughts on both guys? And what do you think of Bonner? What do you think of Peasley, their strengths? What do